Thank you for joining me here today. What a beautiful day it is, and welcome to a response to Father Mike on the Holy Family. Now within this clip, Father Mike, I did find some aspects a little concerning in relation to this. However, in the beginning of the clip, your mother asked you, when she had seen two nativity scenes, which one was theologically correct. One had Joseph kneeling with Mary at the side of the baby Jesus. The other one was where Joseph was standing with a staff. You responded by telling your mother that the staff represented protection. Father Mike, I'd like to assure your mother, as a theologian myself, that there is nowhere in the nativity scenes within the gospel where Joseph is ever standing with a staff. What I did find concerning was that you moved away from the Holy Family per se, the father, the mother and the baby, and moved on to a differentiation between the roles of women and men. Now, Father Mike, you say when you're counselling couples before they are married that you said to them, well, what are the roles? And the woman answered you, what do you mean about roles? And you said, well, what do you mean? And then you said that one of the males said, my role is to provide and protect. And you were so excited about that, Father Mike. But I can understand why that woman asked you, what do you mean about the roles? Because in today's society, there should not have to be a division between the roles. In a nutshell, viewers, Father Mike said that women have a temptation to control and that men have a temptation to be passive. Father Mike, as a woman, I find that disturbing, and I would really prefer that you put some statistics up when you are speaking about such things. Otherwise, they become simply personal opinions. You talk about Dr Leonard Sac and his research of over 20 years in relation to masculinity, and his book, Boys Adrift. In this book, you talk about young men losing their masculinity. But what I would really like to point out, Father Mike, now that you brought Dr Sac up, this might really enlighten you, Father Mike. Let us see what Dr Sac said. I'm not holding up the culture of 50 years ago as a role model. That culture was a lot more racist and sexist than our own culture. And we don't want to go back to that. We have to find a new way for boys to flourish without putting women down, girls or women. I don't agree that a successful man has to be an alpha male. I don't agree with that at all. I've been married for 32 years. I'm not the alpha male. Let me tell you that. My wife runs the business. She does all the lawn mowing and I shop for groceries, okay? So I'm totally not the alpha male, but we have a successful marriage and every marriage is different. I'm not saying that men have to be the alpha male. I'm not saying that women can't earn more money than them. They can, and they often do, and that's fine. Not every man needs to be an alpha male. This is the 21st century. We are not trying to go back to the 1950s. Viewers, I would like to speak about this Holy Family homily in relation to what we should be. You see very clearly in Scripture where God shows both feminine and masculine characteristics. See here up on the screen just one example of our beautiful God's feminine characteristics. Let's have a look. We see here, viewers, from Isaiah 66. As one whom a mother caresses, so will I comfort you. You shall be carried at the breasts, and upon the knees they will caress you. Now, viewers, that is a quote from Isaiah that was written by Saint Therese in her memoirs. And also we see here one from Jesus. in the Gospels. Let us see. Matthew 23:37 and in Luke 13:34. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, you who kill the prophets and stone those sent to you. How often I have longed to gather your children together as a hen gathers her chicks under her wings, and you were not willing. We all have female and male characteristics of God within us. Cannot a woman also protect and provide, Father Mike, like our blessed Holy Virgin Mary, who protected the child Jesus within her womb? What greater protection could there be to protect the sacred vessel than God choosing her a woman, and from whom Mary nurtured the baby Jesus from the milk from her breast? If we truly want to look at an exemplar of a holy family, then we have one right here, Father Mike, with Saint Therese of Lisieux, her family. Pope Francis in 2015 canonized and made both Zélie and Louis Martin, the mother and father of Saint Therese of Lisieux, as saints, and made them patrons of married couples, parents and family life, because of the holiness that they practiced within their family. They went to Mass, they prayed often, they gave thanks to God. Here we had a beautiful family. Father Mike, a father who was a watchmaker, and a mother who was both a homemaker and a businesswoman, and had her own lace-making business. Father Mike, we must be very careful when we're speaking about women and men's roles. And Saint Therese of Lisieux was permitted to enter the Carmelites at 15, very rare circumstances. She was made a doctor of the church, but also, viewers, had a vocation to the priesthood. Yes, in her memoirs, she writes, Saint Therese of Lisieux, the Little Flower of Jesus, Doctor of the Church, 1997. I feel the vocation of a priest. With what love, my Jesus, would I bear you in my hands when my words brought you down from heaven? With what love would I give you to souls? After all of this is what you're saying that men should do and women should trust. And Paul says very clearly, wives, be subordinate to your husbands. You say, Father Mike, trust them. Being subordinate is having someone in control of you and treating you as less than. That's what subordination is. It's lower. It's under. This is not what Dr. Sac is saying about women. This is what Dr. Leonard Sac is saying in relation to dominance and control. But he said we can't go back to that and we can't blame women. He says this is the 21st century. I do come in Christian love. I do. I have to speak out, Father Mike, because if you are saying that wives should be subordinate and submit to their husband, that is what the church's teachings is doing and has been doing in relation to women's roles within the church for a very, very long time. If Saint Therese of Lisieux can be called to be a priest and speaks out about it, then why can't women today within the church who are called by God to consecrate the Eucharist, why then can't they? Father Mike, please, when you are speaking, please do not place your own interpretations within Scripture unless they are one of bonding and uniting the members of the church. And viewers, our beloved Mary has said to me that what matters most to God is that we love God. That, our beloved Queen of Heaven said, is what matters most to God. Loving God. And to love God is to love one another. I'd like to leave you, viewers, with a message from our beloved Queen of Heaven. She said, tell them to pray. Tell them, Mary said, to keep praying. Thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day. Thank you.